Hello, 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 hello. Okay, still going. Sometimes it gets a bit depressing when you feel like you're taking like one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. And sometimes that lasts a very long time. But uh, as long as you keep going, you make forward progress eventually. That's one of the things I've learned over the years. Just don't think about it. Don't dwell on it. Just keep going. Keep on working. What are we doing now? Oh, put some music on. Da, 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 da. What do we listen to? That's something. This thing. Okay. So this saving used to happen in a dedicated thread, and now I've changed things around so that it utilizes the thread pool instead. And so I put this comment here. Okay, it's not a big problem, but I will fix it, I guess. I just did this because I wanted to reuse a buffer instead of allocating it every time. I could just use like a PMR vector instead, but so there's only ever one save task that happens at a time. So it's all protected by this mutex anyway, so buffer to use for... What is it doing? So, what was it doing? Compressing data to WAV-Pack. WAV-Pack compression. So we're just holding the mutex at this point, right? So we can just access that. Okay, if I'm wrong, it will be very obvious as soon as I try to save a project. Okay, what's next? Oh, this stuff. Okay, how am I dealing with this? I didn't decide on what I'm doing here yet. I have to think about how to do this. So SD stands. I have a concept called a sample data, which is different from a sample. A sample basically points towards a sample data, which is a structure containing sample data in memory. And then I have some some information about the sample data here, which is basically the set of samples that are referring to it and the set of carnival nodes that are referring to it currently. So I need to decide how to manage the creation of these entries into the database, because it's all different now. Now that I've refactored the sample data management stuff. Let me think. What do we do here? I actually don't know. Where do I need this information? That's important. Where do I actually need this? So I have get samples here and get carnival nodes. So these functions get carnival nodes is used here. So that doesn't need to be in AUX. What about this one? Again, doesn't need to be in AUX here. So that one is fine. So what about get samples? Again, that doesn't need to be there. Samples. What is this? That's something else. This one, GUI again, that's fine. Okay, so, oh wait, oh yeah, okay, good. So I can actually just remove, well, not remove, but I can move this to somewhere else, somewhere that makes more sense. Move it out of here. So my program state now looks like this. The sample data exists in here. So crucially, what's different now is this SData model. It sort of exists independently of the current project state, which is buried in here somewhere, because the project can like move around in history, and sample data has to continue existing as long as there's at least one reference to a bit of sample data. So this is like independent of the history system. So I need extra information, auxiliary information about the sample data. So that's what AUX stands for at the moment. It's auxiliary, but it's in reference to like project data. It's like auxiliary information about the project. So now I'm going to need something else. It's going to look something like SData AUX. And all it's going to have it in is this information here, basically. I don't want to just put it directly into here, because this has to react to what the current state of the project is. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. No. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. No, I remember now. Okay, yeah. This used to be here, and then I moved them up because I realized that actually the way this is going to work is S data. So these are in a specific order. The order that these appear in the project state is like, that's distracting because it has lyrics. It has like semantic meaning, the order of these fields. And the semantic meaning is things lower in the list can potentially react to changes that happen earlier in the list. That's basically what it is. So this model can react to what happens here, is the idea. Is that true? Is that true? Is that the way I'm doing it? I think so. Actually, it just reacts to itself. Okay, I think all I want to do is going to react to self, which actually is, that's where these to-dos are anyway. And I want to add these entries anytime a sample or carnival node is added, which already points to that sample data. And then erase it. Erase it if nothing points to it anymore. Is that the idea? Let me just try it. Okay. Okay. Add SDAUX if doesn't. Exist. And then same thing here. No, add or update SDAUX. It's just a bit awkward compared to everything else. It depends if it's actually got the STE set. Should we check like that? It already exists. Then we update it by going that, and then it should just be like that. Okay. And then we do the same thing with samples. Then the more awkward part is erasing. Let's see. Yeah, I get it. So we have another function called arrays or update. STAUX. And same thing here. So if it exists, I think it would always exist in this context. Yeah, it should always exist. So STAUX get knows like that, and then we say if STAUX empty and samples empty, then do that. Otherwise, yeah, okay. Should erase. Is this okay? No, it's not. Because something could be erased and added in the same instance. So this has to be a deferred. This needs to be deferred until after everything's been processed. Okay. Yeah. Do I have some kind of strict deferred SDGC? And just put it at the end. So I'm just going to do that. If this is sample data, remove this carnival node from the list. So this should be called arrays from SDAUX. Add to SDAUX. And then we do huh? Oh, GC, yeah. SDID. Nope. So GC deferred SDID. Okay, and now GC, where is it processed? Yeah. SDGC, if should SD be erased, erase. I hope this is all right. Return X nodes empty and samples empty. Oh, there's something else in here. Right, this bit. What is this doing? This is basically doing what I just did. So this is not needed anymore. Okay, good, good. I think that's all right. Okay. So we did that. What else do we need to do? Oh yeah, this bit. What are you complaining about? Ah. So it's been about, I don't know, a week and a half since I actually ran Blockhead. Because nothing's been building until very recently. So we'll see what I've broken. I'm sure I've broken a million things. This should be ID, I think. Oh yeah, don't need that anymore. If I read. What did I call this again? Oh, I also need to react when it changes, which I think is impossible for carnival nodes, but for samples it could change, I believe. Is that true? I don't think so, actually. I think sample always points to the same sample data. Let me think. Is that true? Because in the case of interpret bytes, we create a new sample, I think. Create reinterprets bytes. La 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 la. What happens? Unconfirmed. Oh, no. We don't create a new sample, we just assign it to the current sample. Okay. SD handle. Which happens. Set sample. Oh, okay. So. Oh, but we're calling this anyway. Oh, wait, hold on. I have this thing going on. Add sample. But I don't want this anymore. So am I also using remove node? Oh right, I have some redundant stuff going on now. So I need to remove this stuff. So it doesn't make sense anymore. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And now, what's it called? Add node. Okay, good. So add sample. So this bit here, we go, what's it called again? Arrays from SD. Arrays from SD, like that. Add to SD, and then this will trigger the GC. Let me just do this. Oh, that was deferred. Why was that? Oh, that doesn't. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to do that anymore, so I can simplify this stuff. So deferred. I can get rid of added carnival node, added sample. So I'm just doing that logic inline now. Pretty sure this is all fine. So now I don't need to call that, and I don't need to call that. Okay. So again, I haven't actually run Blockhead for about a week and a half or something like that. I've done about 12 refactors. So let's see what's broken. I'll go to the toilet while that's happening. So usually after I get done on a big refactor like this, Blockhead will just immediately break on startup because of some reason or other, and then it'll take it's usually not too bad, but it'll take a little bit of time to get things like stable again. But I'm expecting problems related to sample loading. I've completely changed the way the multi-threading works. I'm expecting problems related to project saving and loading, but I haven't actually finished implementing that yet. I need to address this stuff in here. Oh yeah, file data loading has also changed as well. Anything related to things being loaded in the background has all changed now. What about reporting on background tasks and load status has changed as well. Main loop, how do I do it now? Main loop, load progress frame update. So this was all rewritten. Load progress frame update this bit. Although it's simpler than it was before. Okay, so I'm expecting, wow, it didn't crash on startup, or didn't have any very obvious problems on startup. Okay, this surely is not going to work. Okay, let's reload and do it again. Let's see what happens. So something to do with waveform rendering, it looks like. So it's immediately trying to render the waveform for that block that was just created. SD1 doesn't exist in load status. Okay. So it's possible that I'm not setting this up properly. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. So I would need to... Yeah, I don't think I actually wrote that code to do that. Because this is working differently now. Because I need to react to S data. So it should... Okay, I did write this bit. I can simplify this now. I wrote a nice template for this. RV data model items. So this should be happening. but perhaps it isn't. What did I just press? Okay, I accidentally closed NeoVim with a mystery keyboard shortcut that I just pressed. Who knows what it was? What was I doing? Lost my train of thought now. Load status React. Not. Thank you for changing the thing that was highlighted just before I pressed enter. That one. Okay. Oh no. Load status React to S data is the one I want. That one. Right. This should be happening. It looks like maybe we start rendering waveforms before that has a chance to happen, which shouldn't be the case. Or it's just not happening at all. Let's see. It's... well, I don't know. Well, this is happening in a background thread, first of all. Wait for FD to finish load. Whoa, hold on. Wait for FD to... Hold on. Did I misread? Oh, I misread what the problem was. So it's the file data that it's not finding, not the sample data. So, actually, this should be happening as well. Let's see if it is. It's not, at least not before it gets the chance to do this. Ah, well, this bit is wrong. Yeah, potentially. So let me have a think about this. You be quiet, please. Laura is too distracting. So this is happening in a background thread. So I have to think about the case of what happens if the file data is immediately deleted before this gets a chance to happen. Because we're going to block until the file data is loaded in memory. What happens if it gets deleted in the meantime? Well, we can ensure that that doesn't happen. In fact, we know it's not going to happen because this is a this is keeping it alive as long as this is in scope. So that's not going to happen. So we're just waiting for it to be loaded into memory. So there's a chance that this will happen before we have created this entry in the load status here, which is exactly what's happening. So if that entry doesn't exist yet, then this function should just return false, not done. Okay. Okay, so if equals find t return done t Sorry, hold on. 10. Let's do this down here. And those return false. Okay. So it should be guaranteed that that entry is going to be created. While this is blocking for it to finish loading. Okay. Okay, now this is different because this is the next line. Now it's complaining about... Oh wait, this is where it was before. Okay, so there's both of these has an issue. So this is still not happening. Okay. Right. So waveform React. Program React. Oh, I'm missing something here. I'm possibly missing multiple things. But I can immediately see Program React. So React. So I need wedged in here should update code status. What else needs to react? Server site. F data, F data. It's just B data that reacts. Okay, so it's just this that I'm missing. this I want to format differently. This. Okay. Okay, that looks good. 1, 2, and then we get here. In validation, it looks like. Validate sample list. ST-1, list sample 7 has ST-1. Hold on. ST-1. Expected ST-1. What the? Sample ID 7. Expected ST-1. Excuse me? Is this, we have a sample? Ah, okay. What have I done? I didn't set the ID, did I? Sonic. Oh yeah. ID, STID, there we go. Pretty important. Okay, got a bit further. If 36 doesn't exist in load progress. Okay. Does it have anything in it? Zero, 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 zero. So what are we doing here? Front plate setup. Load progress. Well, yeah. That's very true. So it might not exist until later on. It should probably exist by now, but... hold on a sec. So this is this yeah, this works differently now. Item status. So this load progress model holds information about things that are currently in the process of being loaded. And so what I'm doing here now is wrong because I'm assuming. So previously I was getting that information from other entries in the database where the load information about load progress was persistent. It was always associated with that data, but now I don't do it that way. So it might exist or it might not. And so instead I should go find. If do that. So load progress. So we need a find for all of these. So anywhere anywhere where I do get load. Should be okay, I think. Alright, I'm doing the same thing here. Load ID with an input buffer, okay. Okie dokie. Okay, we get further, I think. So now, is this waveform rendering or... Oh no, we're loading the map. Okay, interesting. This is a null struct. Frames empty. Interesting. Frames empty. Frames empty. How interesting. Okay. Stop there. This seems to be okay now. So frames empty at this point. Why is that? What did we do? Oh, I moved it into here for some reason. That's obviously not going to work. Okay, interesting. Let me see if anything shows up here. I'm assuming it'll be broken in some way. Yeah, nothing happened here. Okay, so that's not working. So I'm getting a bunch of stuff spammed in the console here. Doesn't look right. Also, every time I move the mouse, it's pushing stuff to the audio engine, which it shouldn't be. So I have to investigate that. But then when I click, nothing happens. When I right click, okay, hold on. Let's try this. Do this and then right click. Okay. What is the issue here? So these kinds of issues, they always come up after I do a big refactor like the one I just did, and it usually takes like just a day or two to clear all this up, and then we'll be back to the races again. So this should be so when I right click, it's rewinding to a previous project state. So it makes sense that this doesn't exist. This is connected to a receiver, blah blah blah. So I think here I just want to do this, but then yeah, that makes sense. But this entire... I'm just reverting to... see, this doesn't make sense, actually. So this is triggering because the Purge has changed, but the AUX has changed as well, along with it. So I shouldn't actually... I don't think this should be happening at all. This shouldn't be yeah, this shouldn't be happening. Right click. So now it just causes other problems. This shouldn't be happening at all. Let me actually revert back to how it was. No, it should... Well, that should be like that, actually. Oh, that's fine. It's fine either way, because this shouldn't actually be happening when I right click here. So I think I know what the issue is here. Should be clear. Do that, right click. We get to here. UI react to Sonic. That shouldn't be happening either, right? Should it? Because what is the historic project? So react. UI react to Sonic. This is happening because we're doing this, cancel. When we right click. Revert back to the start state. Let me do that. Which is that. Okay, we're making progress. I'm gonna stop and have lunch.